As the prices of key ingredients such as rice, beef, chicken, and eggs increase, the cost of eating out for everyday lunch menus like burgers and kimbap are also rising in turn. The impact of a weak currency, which is making imports such as wheat and sugar more expensive, is also taking hold.
If you are living in South Korea right now and you try to send any money back home, and I'm pretty sure whenever I drop this video in months past, it's going to be the same. The exchange rate is killing us right now. We are getting annihilated with the rate. And I'm Canadian. It used to be like the won was like way over a dollar. Like 1,000 won would be like way over $1 Canadian. Now it's below. Americans, I know you guys are crying. Just want to throw that out there.
Adding to what many here call lunchflation, McDonald's Korea said it raised prices of burgers and drinks by 101 to 401 from February 20, citing.
By the way, in Korea, every like New Year, January, February, but usually it used to be like January 1st, every restaurant chain and every company, even the small ones, they raise their prices. Every year, like clockwork. I'm not sure why McDonald's is doing it now in February, but they usually raise it every year, and every year people get angry, but they raise it every year.
Higher overall costs. Burger King also increased the prices of burgers, including its Whoppers and drinks by 101 to 201 starting on February 12. According to the Korea Consumer Agency's price portal, the average price of kimbap in Seoul stood at 3,800 won last month, up 7.
Okay, so the reason why kimbap is a very important indicator of how lunchflation or food inflation is affecting the country is because kimbap is known as a very healthy, cheap way to eat food in Korea. It's like craft dinner in Canada. Like, if you don't have money, just grab some craft dinner or just grab some cup ramen. In Korea, like, they want to eat more fresh. It's kimbap. 33,800 won. I remember when I first came to Korea, kimbap anywhere, 1,000won. 1,000won, you can go get a kimbap anywhere. Make sure you take that pork out of my kimbap, but yeah.
7.4% from a year earlier. This is a sharp increase and is hurting the pockets of many who want to grab a light, cheap meal. Restaurant operators stress they have no choice but to mark up prices. According to the Korea Agri-Fisheries and Food Trade Corporation, the average price of a 20-kilogram bag of rice stood at the 63,000 won range as of February 19.
I don't know if you guys also heard about this in Korea. Koreans are not eating rice as much as before. They're not eating rice. They're eating more Western kinds of food, if you believe it or not, which may contribute, if you never heard, contributing to the obesity problem that is happening now in Korea. Is it a obesity problem like it is in America? Absolutely not. No, it's not. But it's an obesity problem compared to what it was prior years in Korea.
Nearly 16% from a year ago. Retail prices for 100 grams of beef tenderloin were in the 15,000 won range, up 9.5% on year. A pack of 10 large eggs cost 3,941, about 23% higher than.
Sorry, the beef. I had to go back to the beef. I couldn't let it go. Love living in Korea. It's very convenient, comfortable, body culture, safe, everything. Because I don't eat pork, beef prices really hurt. And like, beef is like, if you're living in another country, beef in Korea is like a delicacy. I wouldn't go that far to say a delicacy, but it's really expensive in Korea. Beef is like, for example, if you're going out on a date, you usually go to like a samgyeopsal place, pork belly, whatever. If you go like on a like a beef restaurant, like you want to eat beef, it's like higher. It's like a higher level of eating in Korea when you're eating beef.
Than a year earlier. Import prices are also on the rise. Notably, imported chicken climbed 27.6% from a year earlier, one of the sharpest increases among livestock products. A report released on February 11 by the Korea Rural Economic Institute said prices of farm and livestock products rose an average of 4.8% per year over the past 5 years, as higher production and distribution costs were passed on to consumers. In response, the Korean government is stepping up action against collusion, saying price hikes may have been fueled by backroom deals among firms. The government has warned that anti-market collusion is deeply rooted across the food industry, adding that abuse of market power harms the nation's economic growth. It said extra efforts will be made to check unlawful price rigging and penalize offenders.
So, price rigging. I don't think food inflation is happening everywhere in the world. If you're curious, just search Canadian food inflation, and it's like the top in the OECD countries or whatever. But the rigging part, I'm not gonna say it's not important. I think there's still gonna be large food inflation anyways, but I think they might be onto something. Usually what happens, especially in Korea, with like the fried chicken, if you know in Korea, fried chicken is like super popular here. It takes one brand to raise the price. I think it was Kyochon or BHC or one of those big companies. The CEO said, hey, listen, chicken is not a cheap meal. Like he came out and he says, like, yo, chicken is not a cheap meal. Chicken is not what you think it was before. Chicken is a luxury food. This is what he said. And then raised the prices. And I don't quote me, but I know he said, don't be surprised if chicken goes to 30,000 won. Or something like that. And then the reason why I bring this up with the price rigging, after he said that, the price raised. And then after that company raised the price, all the other companies followed along. And I think that's what they're talking about with the price rigging. Like, hey, once one company does it, they all do it. Or they all do it at the same time. So like, are you guys colluding together to raise prices against the consumer? Happens all the time in Canada. They actually had to pay money back. But the money that they paid back and the money that they made, of course, was not equal, even near at all. So again, very interesting. Let's jump into some of these comments. The first comment says, Korea is finally catching up with the rest of the world. And I feel like this comment is very true because, again, being Canadian, I can only give you my perspective from being Canadian. The food inflation in Canada is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's been that way for years. It's been that way for years. And I feel like Korea is now starting to hit hard with the inflation. Food inflation in particularly. One person says, what the heck? You can get a gimbap for 3,800 won in Seoul. It must be all veggies or triangle gimbap. So what this person is saying, that almost 4,000 won gimbap is cheap. I don't live in Seoul. Seoul people, please help me out. Is a 4,000 won gimbap cheap in Seoul? If so, Lord help you guys, because that's crazy. Let's do one more comment. One person says, seems to be a Korean. As long as we can eat kimchi and ramen and rice, it's fine. That's the thing about it. Like, a lot of Koreans eat jitbap. Jitbap is like their just home food, which literally is just kimchi and rice and other sorts of banchan. And that's how Koreans stay so thin. They don't eat a lot of greasy, super starchy food apart from the rice. So You guys let me know your opinions down below. You can stay up to date by subscribing to the free K360 newsletter and find out what's happening in your city. Also, for my Busan people, the Busan Cheat Day Party. It's an athletic party happening outside at the Bay 101 rooftop. Find more information down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.